Learn more about the albums you love with Dissect, a music analysis podcast hosted by me, Cole Kushna, a lifelong musician and composer. Each season of Dissect dives deep into a single album, forensically dissecting the music, lyrics, and meaning of one song per episode. Our newest season is covering Tyler the Creator's Igor, a beautifully honest album in which Tyler explores love, communication, masculinity, and truth. Listen to Dissect today only on Spotify, because great art deserves more than a swipe.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm joined today by two of my pals, Jodi Walker and Callie Curry. Hi, friends. Welcome.
Hey, Juliet.
Hello.
We have gathered here today because the women of Zach's season have been announced. Jodi, please tell us about the announcement to TikTok from last night. And then I have a follow-up, but please describe what happened.
You know, I was going to be so professional. I was going to watch this TikTok live after I got out of Pilates, so 20 minutes late. I was going to be that professional. I attempt to log on to this TikTok live 20 minutes late and nothing is happening. And I'm like, there are 30 women. There's no way it's already over. Come to find out and come to rewatch on YouTube. The moment Jesse Palmer attempts to get on TikTok Live, which is for some reason the platform that The Bachelor has now chosen to announce these bios on, it sounds like he is on like a stadium microphone. It's like da 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 da, and now we have Allie, and everyone's trying to tell him that the audio is off and it's not working. Jesse Palmer doesn't know how to use TikTok Live. He can't read the comments. He doesn't know what's going on. He goes through like 10 women, and then finally a producer comes in and is like, "We're gonna have to get off while we figure this out." They come back like 45 minutes later. I mean, this whole process took like 2 hours. And then ultimately it was just him reading the bios like it always is. But like, I think he was so exhausted by this point, and like, no one should be making Jesse Palmer get on TikTok. That is not his medium. That he couldn't even add like any additional flair. So I would call it a chaotic disaster.
Do you think that Jesse likes his job at this point? Like, what was your vibe on him?
Yeah, I think it's like a layup. What's not to like? Like, it seems so easy for him, you know? He's just sitting there reading bios. Like, who wouldn't want that job? I can't imagine he would leave it unless, you know, pursuing a passion.
Sure.
I don't think it's his
football.
passion, if that's what you're asking.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you if you had always planned to watch this, but now that I know you were planning to join late, I understand where your head's at. Callie, you look really disturbed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't even know that this was a thing, but I also don't think I've ever tuned into a TikTok live. And
yeah,
I
like,
think everyone knows how much we
popular?
love TikTok. I love TikTok, but no, I'm not. I personally, I might be too old. TikTok live's not for me. No.
I don't think people really like live streaming actually in general, except for, well, this is dark, but like sometimes it's useful, like live streaming a crime or something can like save lives or make a difference. But also,
it's not where I thought you were going.
What do you guys, I was going to say?
I just got to interject. People definitely watch TikTok Live. We
They
do
do?
not watch TikTok Live.
They do?
I said I might be too old. But
I know,
no,
but Callie, I was actually thinking about you last night as I was attempting to get into this TikTok live. I was like, Callie should be doing this because I'm like really out of my element. But when I scroll TikTok, it's like I'm constantly getting, lives on my For You scroll that are just people like watching Sister Wives at the same time. That's a big part of live streaming on TikTok is like watching shows.
What your For You page is. That does not happen to me on mine.
I don't know what my For You page is either. I get on like every 6 days and it's usually to research something for work. So it's pretty chaotic. But I just think it's so strange that The Bachelor of all shows would choose TikTok as the medium. Like this is not a young audience to maybe put it on Instagram Live. But why even do it live? Put it on YouTube. Do you know how I ultimately watched this TikTok feed? By watching another guy watch it on YouTube because I'm a millennial and it was a terrible experience.
What did he think? What did the other guy think about it?
Nothing. There's nothing to think about these bio reveals. Like they literally just read it. In fact, the funniest part was his name is Dave Neal, and he seems to do a lot of this, like watching live streaming.
He's like a Bachelor influencer.
He had to be, oh, really?
I think
he had to be on screen for so long that he had to like get a snack in the middle of this. Like he was on for 2 hours trying to get through this entire thing. And so at one point I had to watch him eat cheese, which was personally very difficult for me. But I do appreciate the effort that he put into getting the very boring TikTok to me.
Yeah, Dave Neal is like a big person in like Bachelor YouTube, believe it or not. I know that name.
Well, YouTube's the right forum.
If TikTok Live is popular, which it absolutely could be, it's just not for me.
We just don't know.
I can't imagine it being like the time frame usually being 2 hours. Like TikTok is supposed to be short consumption.
Oh yeah, the 2 hours was not intentional. I think this was supposed to be about 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was such a disaster.
Even that's long though.
It certainly felt long. I should say that they did the same thing last year, and it did produce last for the men of Gabby and Rachel's season, and it did produce the funniest moment of that season for me, which was Jesse Palmer accidentally inviting someone into the TikTok live from the audience.
Okay,
how long did that one
but
take?
It wasn't that this year. I think about 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that was more people, right?
There's a lot of gals for Zach. Like still quite a few. Let's see. We got
a lot of
5,
notes.
10, 15, 20, 25, 22, 27. We got 30 gals. And that's what we're really here to do today.
I was going to say, I know we haven't announced what we're going to do, but I now think that Jodi has an unfair advantage from watching this 2 hour long TikTok.
I don't know if I've made it incredibly clear, but I stopped around letter B in the girls' names. I couldn't, I was there for the drama, but I could not actually take listening to Jesse just read the bios, knowing that I was then going to have to go back and read them myself.
Did he just read them aloud?
He was adding in like a little flair and a little like, his main line was like, obviously she's gorgeous, is like that's kind of like the only interjection you can make is like, let me now explain to you that she's very pretty. But other than that, he was basically reading the fun facts.
Interesting. I mean, Chris Harrison used to try to like make it seem like he personally knew everyone when he had this gig. He'd be like, oh, and Allie, when Allie and I were on a day off in the Bahamas, we just had such a great laugh or whatever. So I guess they're just like, stick to the script, Jesse. Interesting.
Well, yeah, we were at about hour 1.5 by the time he was finally live. So he had to get through it.
So today, usually Jodi and I go through the bios together, but today we are going to do something that's become somewhat common here at The Ringer and a wonderful idea from our dear friend, Callie Curry. We are going to do a snake draft of our top 5 each women of this season. And we didn't really talk about criteria, so it's kind of the Wild West. Decided to hear why people are choosing them. I'm going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like for Callie, it's going to be based mostly on looks because I know that you were perusing their pictures last night. Jodi, I think it'll be based mostly on the fun facts based on your TikTok experience. And for me, I don't even know how I'm deciding. I was reading through these gals briefly, and I was just making some notes, starring some people, And I'm pretty excited to talk about it. So we're going to do a snake draft, which means, Jodi, do you want to explain what a snake draft is?
How dare you, Juliet? You know I don't know what a snake draft is. I've been extremely anxious about having to understand a draft, which I've done no less than 5 times while working at the Ringer, and I still can't remember how they work.
A draft is a way of forming teams, and you do so by picking from a pool of available talent, whether that is individuals or whatever. We are picking from the 30 women on Zach Shallcross' season of The Bachelor. I believe this is season 42 or 43, which is horrifying.
It's season 27.
Season
of
is
The
it?
Bachelor?
Sorry, you're right. I was thinking of Survivor.
You're in Survivor numbers.
Yeah.
It's season 27. And we will be choosing from his 30 girls. We'll each choose 5 in snake order, which means the person who goes first will then also go 6th. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, blah, 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 like a snake. Like you're playing Snake on your old Nokia phone. Remember that game? Here are some things I would like you to keep in mind when you make your selections, to the extent you remember who any of these people are based on your cursory review. We want people who are going to make an impact. So does it have to be a positive impact? No. Can it be a negative impact? Sure. We're looking for the Shanaes. We're looking for the Susies. We're looking for the Gabbies. We're looking for the Sierras. Like, people who are going to give us sound bites and airtime and probably make it pretty far. So we will have an arbitrary review as we get deeper into Zach's season of who we feel won this draft. Perhaps we'll come up with scoring. That's all TBD. We're making it up as we go along. Erika, our producer, is going to unveil the order shortly. But first, I just wanted to take a quick look together at Zach's biography. I'm going to read you a few selections, Jesse Palmer style, and we'll review. But this is going to be brief because, as we all know, Zach is very boring, which is why it's hard to believe his bio on the page is 4 paragraphs long, even if one paragraph is only 1 sentence. So, may I begin? Also, Jodi, do you understand?
I do understand. I have some pushback against the criteria, but I think I'll just get into it with my selection of gals.
Okay, fantastic. Zach, we want to talk about him. Here are some selections from his bio. Following an emotional realization about his future with Rachel, Shallcross won Bachelor Nation's affection when he made the difficult decision to end his journey on The Bachelorette. Do you guys know anyone who was won over by Zach's time on The Bachelorette? Literally anyone.
No, I believe affections for Zach got like increasingly less as the season went on.
Okay, great. Here's the 1-sentence paragraph that I wanted to highlight. He's the Bachelor. And they say, right, the announcement was made by host Jesse Palmer during the emotional live finale of Gabby Windey and Rachel Recchia's season of The Bachelorette. Do the producers of The Bachelor and the writers of this bio think that we all have amnesia, or we like just Men in Blacked ourselves and don't remember what happened? Because, yeah, we know he's the Bachelor, and also no one cares and it wasn't emotional.
I think that they must think that people like him, because why the fuck did they pick him otherwise?
I don't know. I just don't know, because even you're like, oh, there's no other options. Like, yes, there were. Go outside the box. Back up the truck for Tyler Cameron. Like, I don't know. There's so many options.
Back up the truck for Rodney. Back up the truck for Nate. There's so many fucking people.
It obviously should have been Rodney. So stupid. Okay, next. It says...
Also...
Yes?
I was going to say, you don't even have to back up the truck for the last 2. You're going to have to back up the truck for Tyler. For Rodney and Nate, you probably just need to pull up in a Honda. Pull up in a RAV4. They'll happily get in.
Bring them in an electric RAV4. They're really hard to get, so they'll be happy to just jump on in. And I know, because I'd like one.
And good for the environment.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Then it says he's a family man at heart, and he splits his time between Texas and Orange County. Question. Do you think they're trying to telegraph that he's fairly conservative, or that's just a fact? He splits his time between Texas and Orange County.
I did not take it as they were trying to telegraph that he was fairly conservative. I was just shocked by that information. Like, we've never heard that he lives in Texas, right?
Never. Yes, never. Although, did they go there for his hometown? They may have. I think they did.
No, they were in California.
Oh, they were?
His family is from California. Remember, his uncle is Gronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
Of course.
I don't know if they were trying to telegraph that, but also that's like a big distance.
I know. That's like me saying, like, I split my time between here and New Mexico, where I've actually never been.
I actually do split my time between New York and Texas. And I was thinking, what would that say?
I think what they're actually trying to telegraph is that ultimately, I think he lives in Texas right now. After The Bachelor, he will obviously move to LA just like everyone else. And they're just trying to get out in front of that. Like when he moves to LA, he's not becoming an influencer. He's actually moving back to his family life because he's such a family man. That's like really what they're going for. And all these bios are like, she just wants a family. She's ready to have a baby. And Zach is such a family man.
I don't know. Orange County is specific, though.
Yeah.
That's just where he's from.
He's from Anaheim, right?
Yeah, he's from Anaheim.
There also was a lot of Disney in these bios. Like, oh, I love Disney. Zach
Disneyland.
Zach must love Disneyland. And I have to say, this is one of the weirdest things about Californians, of whom I have many in my life that I love dearly. Southern Californians in particular fucking love Disneyland. It's just like, it's a pathology. It's so hard to explain. I would never, ever want to be someone identified as like loving Disneyland, but it's a thing. And I rail on Disney adults a lot, but it's a thing.
Are Disneyland adults the same as Disney World adults?
No.
Okay.
Because Disney World is light years better than Disneyland. It makes the Disneylanders even more unexplainable.
But it's a real thing, right? Like people just like Californians love Disneyland.
Living in LA, the amount of grown-ups I know that had like the yearly park passes
season pass
is it's insane.
I know. When I worked at ESPN, one of the perks was that you could bring people to Disneyland for free. And like there was many people who wanted to go. And I was like, okay. Unfortunately, I had to go with them, which was the bad part, but whatever. Okay, lastly, it says home is where the heart is. And with the Bachelor mansion not too far away, Shallcross is eager to begin his journey back home in Southern California. So, I mean, yeah, I think you're right, Jodi. They're just like, this is a future Angelino, if not already.
He just
I
can't
don't really
wait.
get where Texas comes into all of this.
Maybe he was
his
living
ass
there.
lives in Texas. Like I think for some reason, like they were, I think, or maybe he moved there in between. I think his job is he's a tech executive. Like,
thank you for bringing that up. I was recently watching season 3 of Emily in Paris. Did you guys watch that?
No.
Couldn't do it.
She refers to herself as a marketing executive. And I feel the word executive has gotten really watered down and just like applied to a lot of people. I don't think that Zach's in charge of anything. Like, I don't think he's an executive. I think perhaps he has a job, which is great. But like, let's reuse the word executive property. Neither Emily Cooper in Paris nor Zach Shallcross in Texas are executives by my definition of the term.
I'm going to start calling myself a journalist executive. I think it just gives it more flair.
It's a great idea.
Also, and I don't know why I can't like move past this, but like obviously the pick for Bachelor was just so strange, and how most leads end up being like influencers. Like Zach does not give influencer at all. I feel like he'd really struggle.
I think what Zach gives is like maybe someone who will actually successfully engage, become a fiance at the end of this, and his wife or his fiance will be a strong influencer and he will be a part of a couple influencer package. I think that is like the absolute best possible scenario for Zach. That's like as well as it could possibly end.
I think he could do that if all he has to do is pose. He's not going to be a video person.
He's not going to be on TikTok Live.
10 years ago was his time, like to be big on Instagram.
I could see Zach doing like, I could see Zach going the Jesse Palmer route. Like some sort of like newscasting.
Hosting The Bachelor?
Oh, no. Prior to this. But I mean, like his voice and everything is very newscastery.
I could see him being like a local newsreader. Yes.
Yeah.
On your local news. I could see that.
Especially in Orange
County. What if Zach's path out of what if he became a weatherman?
in Orange County or Texas or both?
Yeah, Orange County.
A bi-coastal weatherman.
I mean, I don't know what his future is. I can't think of a Bachelor like that I would be less excited about than Zach. I hope that getting into these girls is going to help me bring my excitement level for him, the Bachelor, higher. On that note, shall we begin our draft?
I guess.
Erika, hit us with the order.
All right. So going up first is Jodi.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Well, this is a great opportunity, and thank you, Erika, to say that my criteria for drafting these women is not the kind of impact they have. Will they be a Shanae and make it to the end? It's will Zach pick them? Like, how are they a match for Zach to the extent that we know Zach and understand what he would like? To this point, we know that he would like a Rachel until he would not like a Rachel, at which point he will leave the show. So my first pick is pretty simple. My reasoning is pretty simple. It is Katie, 27, ER nurse, traveling ER nurse, who lives in Austin, Texas. First of all, I have to say, I believe that I understand and have seen every spelling of the name Katie until each new season of The Bachelor, which introduces me to a new spelling of Katie. This is Kaity, Katie. And my reasons are this. She's Canadian. Check. Canadians do very well on The Bachelor. Zach has a real Canadian energy about him, despite being from Orange County and also Texas, as well established. Number 2.
I think she's an insult to Canada. I'm sorry. I don't agree, and I think that's an insult.
I should probably state for the record that while I was not excited about Zach as a pick for Bachelor, I think I have a higher opinion of him than the other Bachelor Party crew here. My greatest desire for him is just to be a nice guy, like to just handle this well and not like destroy anyone's psyche during the process. And I think maybe he can do it. I think the season rides on these women, but I just think he's like a pretty simple guy, and nice.
There was one line from Katie's bio that eliminated her for me. Katie enjoys swimming, but hates that sharks may be swimming underneath her. I just am like, Katie.
I also read that.
I just think there's ways for her to avoid that. Every time you're swimming, there's not sharks present. She's like, where is she swimming if this is such a concern? I don't know. I'm a shark expert because I watched one special on the National Geographic Channel called Shark Beach with Chris Hemsworth. So I think she should watch that and then get back to us. I don't know. This is a good pick, but I don't know. Something about Katie just didn't grab my attention, but perhaps I'm wrong.
Well, so I'm not saying she grabbed my attention. I'm saying Zach's gonna marry her. She's a travel nurse. That's like one of the coolest while also being most wholesome jobs. There are a lot of nurses in this cast, and she is a travel nurse, which brings like a little bit of a new element to it. She's from Canada, but she lives in Austin. Like, these are good Bachelor places. And most importantly, she got 4 fun facts while everyone else got 3. And that leads me to believe that the Bachelor interns or whoever writes these bios and whoever absolutely made up so that she enjoys swimming but is scared that sharks are underneath her. There's almost no chance that she actually said that.
She maybe said it like once in passing.
She maybe like mentioned being scared of sharks and they were like, I want to put a little spin on this. That they want us to know a lot about her. These are my reasons and I'm sticking to them.
Okay. Fair enough.
I will say that Katie was in my top 5. So,
wow, wowie zowie. Okay, Erika, who's up next?
All right, up next is Callie.
Awesome. Wow. Really wanted this person. I too chose my pick based off of who I think Zach is going to pick. Then Juliet threw me for a loop at the beginning of this podcast saying we should go with highest impact. So I quickly jotted down a naughty list. So I have a naughty list. I have a naughty list and a nice list. But for my first pick, we're going to stick to the nice list since my number 1 pick is still available. And I am going to go with Becca.
Becca. Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Interesting. Why?
So a couple of reasons. One, I went through this and last night when I did DM, I think it was a DM, Juliet, and I was like, let's do a draft based off of looks alone. I think that's what I originally said. And then when I did this, I did not do this. I read every fucking bio. And The one thing that kind of moved me one way or another was occupation. And I think that Zach is going to be drawn to women in the medical field. I feel like he wants to be taken care of. I think he wants someone who takes care of others. It seemed with Rachel that he like kind of was into her having a job that was like semi-demanding and she was career focused. Medical field, that's usually the case. Also, the very first line of Becca's biography is simple. Becca is incredible. That's all it says.
And you know what? Those are just facts. We have to believe them. Those are just
did
facts.
catch my eye as well.
And I was like,
there
what
were
producer
so
wrote
many
this?
of these. So many of these bios opened with like, Amy is outstanding. It's like, what? This is not from their questionnaires that they have to fill out. But I buy it. Callie, this gal was not even on my short list, but she's from Burbank, California.
Another
And that
city.
should go over great.
Another city closely aligned with Disney. So
I also, it says that she's a sucker for forbidden romance novels. And I feel like it just aligns with Zach's personality, you know?
Like he looks like he could be on the cover of a romance novel.
Yeah. The only thing, which I think we discussed, I think that exact sentence was said on this podcast before, that Zach looks like he could be on the cover of a romance novel, or maybe Rachel said it. Someone said it. The only thing that threw me for a loop with Becca is that she said that she wants someone to be who isn't afraid to be goofy sometimes. And I was like, I don't know if Zach gives goofy, but maybe when the cameras are off, he has to do something, because even for him to get as far as he did in Rachel's season, I'm like, he has to be giving something that we're not seeing.
I think Zach wants to be goofy. So I think he would be happy to have someone to like help him get in touch with that. But he himself is not currently goofy.
I find that people who use the word goofy and a desire for it simply mean like, I want to giggle a lot. And Zach is a big giggler. There was like a 10-minute montage scene of him and Rachel trying on hats. Like that is what people who use the word goofy think of as being goofy. Like, I just want to try on hats with somebody for 20 minutes and have a good time. So like in that sense, I think he's a little goofy.
Well, that is my number one pick and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
I have a quick clarifying question. Maybe we already said it. How many people do we get on our team? How many are we up to? 5.
We're each picking 5. So half of the gals will be spoken for.
Also, is anyone writing down our teams? I just want to make sure that
I am. Yes.
Okay, great.
I got you covered. As the semi host of this, I feel it's my responsibility. Okay. Taking a page out of Callie's book, I'm going 1 naughty and 1 nice. First, I will be unveiling my high volume, high impact pick. My important starter, though I don't think he'll be marrying this person, is Holland. She's 24, insurance marketer from Boca Raton, Florida. I mean, there's something her favorite TV show is The Bachelor. That's one of the 3 bullet points. She knows how the game is played, and she is here to be on camera. I think that Holland is going to be our Shanae. I look forward to seeing her in Paradise next summer, and I'm ready to get acquainted with her and just embrace her in my life, knowing that I probably will find her very annoying. She also says she loves yachting with her girls, which begs the question of, is she yachting frequently? Is that just like a Boca thing? How big is this yacht? Is she going to go on below deck? Does she have just a lot of aspirations of being a yachty? Like, what are we talking about here? So I think Holland is here to make an impact. She also does a lot of Pilates, which I feel like also usually means a lot of vamping for the camera. And she's looking for a man who can keep up with her energy. So she's coming in hot. Holland, you're on my team.
Holland's bio is like a bingo card for The Bachelor. It's like Pilates, sushi, loves yachting with the girls, and watching The Bachelor.
Can I just say?
And also is probably going to ruin someone's life on the show.
Definitely.
Pilates, sushi, yachting with the girls, and watching The Bachelor sounds like an amazing life. I'm not mad at it at all. At all. I will say that yachting is kind of like a Florida thing, so I wouldn't take that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. People, like if you live on the coast, you probably are on a yacht a lot. Okay. Well, people with privilege anyway, so I'm sure she is from a nice area.
Even if she's
from
not,
Boca.
she's trying to make it seem like she's rich. Like, I feel like she's trying to make it seem like she's got like a very comfortable life, and she's just like here to mix it up with Zach.
I will say that in my frantic jotting of naughty list, Holland was number 2 on my naughty list. So we have similar thinking, Juliet.
Delighted to hear it. All right, and now my nice gal, who I think will go far, Brooklyn, the rodeo racer, who is not actually a rodeo racer. She's 25. She's from Stillwater, Oklahoma, and she actually works for an oral surgeon. She is a lab designer for an oral surgery practice where she custom designs teeth for life-changing dental procedures. That just seems like the kind of thing that's like, oh, that's really sweet. She's changing lives. It sort of like reminds me of Gabler on Survivor, who's like, he's not actually like part of the surgery, but he's like in the room or like nearby. And
this like tiny petite blonde woman reminding you of Gabler from Survivor is like peak Juliet.
She's also like a down home like rodeo. She did barrel racing, and she just seems like she's very like pleasant, but has like some weird facts. And I think that tends to get you far on this show.
Yeah, this tiny petite little girl also loves to start her day with a breakfast burrito. Not sure how real that is.
I also love a breakfast burrito, but I think it's more believable when I say it.
I
really
also
liked
love
her
a breakfast
bio.
burrito.
It had like a lot of zigs and zags, like, oh, dreams of being a rodeo cowgirl, also designs teeth. I just think the idea of designing teeth seems great. Wasn't she one of the After the Final Rose girls? And didn't she drop the F-bomb on accident?
Was that her? I don't remember.
It was a blonde woman, but it may not have been her.
I blocked all that out.
So it's one of 14.
It was a blonde
All right,
woman.
Callie, it's back to you.
Yeah, can I just say I really like my position here? I like being 2 in a 3-person snake draft.
Well, I'm really happy for you.
Okay, I guess. Oh, should I go with my naughty or nice list? I think my naughty person's going to be here for the next time around because Jodi didn't play that way. So I'm going to go with my
strategy. Oh, I'm not cut out for this.
On my nice list, who I'm trying to find right now, and I can't find her bio. It is, they're alphabetical. That makes it a lot easier. My next is Olivia L.
Ooh, okay. Tell us
who
why.
Is a patient care tech, so still in the medical field. She loves Grey's Anatomy, which I, too, have watched every single episode of Grey's Anatomy up until this last season.
I've seen every episode. How have we never talked about this?
Yeah, I didn't know that you watched.
I still watch.
That's literally insane that you guys could have never talked about this. Juliet, you like are able to relate so many things to Grey's Anatomy. How has this never come up?
I don't know.
On Bachelor Party.
I don't think I've ever heard you even talk about Grey's Anatomy.
I fucking love it. I talk about it all the time. I've never missed an episode. Probably one of the happiest moments of pandemic was when Derek Shepherd appeared on my TV and I just started weeping alone in my apartment. So it was a dark day.
I think I talked about how I cried once on a plane, which I didn't know that you cried more on planes. And I watched the episode where he died on the plane. And it was
Spoiler
not
alert, you guys.
great. My brother was so embarrassed. Well, if you don't know that, then like, I don't know what to tell you. But she loves Grey's Anatomy. So that was like a big ting, like a big star for me. Also, she used to be a basketball player, which I didn't think that by looking at her. She's a little on the young side, but I think that might be good for Zach.
I think Zach needs a younger woman.
Yeah, me too.
I think he needs a younger woman who's got a strong personality, but he still has like some like feeling of like superiorness to her. Like he still has like some way in which she's like one-upping her.
Olivia's bio also says that she will yell at people who litters. So she does have a big personality. And I appreciate that too.
This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot of emphasis on trash in these bios, like to the extent that like litter and garbage doesn't often come up. It's come up at least in 2 of them, which I found really weird, but okay.
Olivia L is very cute. Like her
Very
eyes literally
cute.
sparkle.
Yeah.
Also, I was trying to think of the trailer. I feel like I saw a lot of brunettes. So that was another part of my strategy.
Okay. Cool. I want to know
That
more
was my
about
pick.
her basketball situation. I'm sure we'll find out more.
Yeah, they mentioned it like 4 times in her biography. So I know it's going to come up. There's going to be a basketball date for sure.
Definitely. She's from a family of jet skiing enthusiasts. That's cool. Also, she's from Rochester, New York, which I also consider cool. I think upstate New York is like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Praying for...
Is it these days?
I don't know. It's a good question, but I hope Damar Hamlin continues to improve. Just want to mention that.
That, yes, I agree with. I was more so thinking on the Santos line of
I understand.
questioning, but
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Jodi, back to you for pick number 6 and 7.
Oh, wow. I'm unprepared. We'll see how this goes. You guys took a naughty and nice approach to your split. I believe I have taken a 1 for him, 1 for me approach. So Katie is who I believe will be Zach's future wife. The 1 for me and my next pick is Mercedes, age 24, a nonprofit case manager from Bloomfield, Iowa. Mercedes has 4 jobs, which is so many jobs. And I've never found myself actually wanting someone to become an influencer after the show. Like, I would love nothing more than for her to funnel these 4 jobs down into 1 job. They say she's from Bloomfield, Iowa, but they sneak in within the bio that she lives in Nashville. Big Bachelor hub, big note for possible success. And much like Zach seems Canadian to me, he also seems Midwestern to me. And she is Midwestern. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I just
How
think
did you not?
I think it's possible.
You didn't mention like her best fun fact.
Hit me with it, Callie.
Mercedes' hobby is showing pigs at the Iowa State Fair.
Sorry, I just thought that would be evident from everything else that I said.
I fear that she's too interesting for Zach. She has 4 jobs and she has hobbies. Like, can Zach even compute what it is to have so much substance?
But one
Is
of you
showing pigs
mentioned
a hobby?
earlier that Zach, it is a lifestyle, I think, that Zach was very into Rachel's career. And I had forgotten that, but it's true. He really liked that she was like successful and ambitious. She liked that he liked that about her. And this is what I think Zach this is what Zach wants. An older woman, which is not Mercedes, but I think he wants an older woman who is ambitious and successful. I think that probably what's going to happen is a younger woman who maybe will be successful. We'll just, have to wait and see how the influencer couple lifestyle goes.
Sure. I also like that she says her love language is giving and receiving gifts. Nothing like putting that out there on day one. I better be getting shit, dude.
Oh yeah. I meant to note that I am so fascinated by people whose love language is receiving gifts. I think I can like wrap my head around people whose love language is giving gifts, but like it's not a problem. It's just interesting. It's just so far from my own love language that I don't know what it means to receive love when I'm given an iPad, but I like it.
As
I'm very interested in Mercedes.
Married to someone whose love language is receiving gifts, it's the best love language for someone to be married to. So easy to give gifts.
Yeah.
So easy.
It's pretty black
like,
and white.
I can be like walking home from the grocery store and pass a bookstore that has a cool bookmark and pick it up and like really makes his day. Like,
that's
so
really sweet.
Easy. It's so easy. Whereas mine are words of affirmation, and I don't think you can ever get enough. Like if I'm not told how amazing I am every day, it's an issue.
And you better say it the right way.
Correct. Gifts is just so much easier, I feel.
It's very sweet. All right, Jodi, give us your next pick.
Okay, I was not prepared for my next pick, but I'm going to
go. Snake draft works.
I do not. I've heard you say snake draft a number of times, but it did not prepare me. I'm going to go with my wild card, which means there's basically one reason for picking her. And that person is...
I'm nervous you're going to pick the person I want.
Me too.
Charity.
Ooh.
Age 26. Child and family therapist from Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
I could not be more excited by the idea of having a therapist in the cast of The Bachelor. It's like a canary in the coal mine. Like, I love the idea that she can be like tracking what's happening on a behavioral level. I think y'all have done enough pods with me at this point to know that I'm like very obsessed with human behavior. And that's like the best reason to watch The Bachelor is to be like, what is going on here? Why are these people making the decisions that they're making? And I know that being a therapist is not this cut and dry, but Charity's going to know. She's going to know why people are doing the things that they're doing. And she's going to know why Zach's doing the stuff he's doing. And maybe she can help.
I think this is a good pick because I think she'll be high impact. But I'd like to give you a counterpoint. Do you remember Taylor from Nick's season?
I do remember Taylor.
Taylor was also like in the therapy world. And Taylor was not well liked and did not use her insight and skills to get people to like her. So it can really go both ways.
Let me counter
but
your
she
counter.
Was high impact. Taylor was high impact.
High impact. So I have that going for me. Taylor was 23 and she was pursuing her PhD. Charity is an active therapist, a child and family therapist. So I just think she may have a few more skills that Taylor did not have at the time. We'll see. And she seems nice. And I think, yes, Charity wants to move to Walt Disney World one day. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but it definitely seems within the realm of possibility with Zach.
Oh, man. Okay, Callie, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to go off my naughty list.
Nice.
So this person, I think they're going to be high impact either way. And my pick is going to be for Christina Mandrell.
That's who I wanted to take next. I'm pissed.
She is on my naughty list for a few, and I don't know if I want to call this a naughty list, but whatever. High impact list for maybe not the reason that I think they're going to get married. I do not think she's going to marry Zach. Yeah, wrong reasons list. Content creator, biggest flag ever. Like, come up with another job title. Like, you can't say that you're a content creator and come on this show. Huge red flag there.
Agreed.
Secondly, I don't know if it's because it said Texas to Orange County, but Zach to me reads very traditional and conservative maybe. And content creator with a child that's divorced, I don't think fits into the box that Zach probably has in his head for a woman that he wants. That being said, she's really fucking pretty.
She is.
Definitely has some sex appeal. And maybe she is a great mom and she likes CrossFit. So I can see Zach liking her and taking her far, her causing drama in the group, and Zach ultimately not picking her because she doesn't tick all his boxes or whatever you would like to call it.
It's a great pick, Callie. I'm jealous. This is really who I wanted next. Also, crucially, she too has a famous aunt. Like he has a famous uncle, semi-famous. Her aunt is the country singer Barbara Mandrell, who I've like vaguely heard of before. But I do think she'll be like a troublemaker for sure. Also, you have to be intrigued by the one person to get a last name. Like, was that a mistake? Was that intentional?
Ooh.
Like, what's going on?
I was
That's
like,
why
how are
wanted
we
her.
not addressing the fact that her last name is on this list? And it was absolutely not a mistake. It's like, it's for some reason she has a lot of Instagram followers. Like, I mean, you know, she's
40,000.
a content creator. Is she a singer?
I think she's like an
aunt?
aspiring singer.
Okay.
So
Maybe she required first and last.
maybe.
Can
I think
you
she's
do
just-
that? I think they're
They
just
really
trying to
want
get
her.
her for a future solo concert for a one-on-one date. Like, she's not going to win, but she will one day be singing on
It
this
would be
show.
awesome if she was like, and now, Zach, I know that you're taking me on a date, but now I will sing to you with my mother and my aunt. That would be
Wow,
awesome.
that is absolutely going to happen. That was a premonition, Juliet.
I just feel like that would be great. All right, it's my turn. This one, I wasn't sure I was going to pick her, but I'm going with Bailey, 27, executive recruiter from Nashville. I feel like executive recruiter is a really good Bachelor role, like being a recruiter in HR. I just feel like that's transferable to really anywhere. She'll be ready to move. Like Nashville is a good city for Zach. His vanilla-ness will just fit right in. I just feel like they could be a match. And there was just something about her that was like so. She has like a tiny bit of Rachel's look. I think it's her hair that I felt like perhaps he'd be into. Something about her just seemed like she would go far, even if she's not like for me. But she's just sort of like basic gal. I feel like she's a little Susie Evans-ish. I don't know. There's just something about her. I'm like, yeah, this seems like someone made in the Bachelor factory. Would love to be a professional skydiver. Likes her margarita spicy. Named her dog Charlie after Charlie Brown. That's like also like someone who doesn't really understand Charlie Brown. But that's okay.
Juliet, is this something about her that she looks exactly like Kelly from Peter's season?
I think she also looks like Callie. Remember Ashley from Brad Womack's season? It was like Ash, capital L, Lee. She looks like her as well. She
does
organizer.
look like a lot of. I had the same thought of like she has a specific look. I think she also kind of looks like Kaylin, who's marrying Dean. Like she just there's like one of her each season.
She's also like, I'm looking to travel and go on adventures. Like she's available to move her life wherever she needs to for Zach. I just feel like this person, she's gonna go far. I can.
Oh yeah, you can recruit executives from anywhere. You can recruit them right from this pool of Bachelor contestants.
Okay, next pick. I don't know if this is a good pick, but I've got a feeling about her. Allie, 26, healthcare strategist from Atlanta, Georgia. More in the healthcare industry. Also, she similarly lives in Georgia, but she's really from Texas. So she's got the Texas connection, but it's not the headline. It's just a weird thing. She's as passionate about her work in healthcare as she is about Disneyland. What really sealed the deal for me was that she loves broccolini, but hates broccoli. They basically taste the same. So
completely disagree. And I'm the exact opposite. I know that
like
broccolini is fancier, but I do not like the way it tastes. And I have no issue with broccoli.
I like both, and they're pretty similar. You're weird.
The Bachelor bio practically writes
I
itself.
don't think they're similar. I agree with Jodi. Definitely not similar, but I like both.
Yeah, me too.
Also, that was my pick. So thank you. I was studying her bio as you were talking to get ready to talk, and I realized you were reading what I was reading at the same time. And you left out that she has a fucking golden doodle named Texas.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, that's such a great dog name.
It is.
That also aligns with Zach.
It's true.
Who, as we know, travels between Texas and Disneyland weekly.
Also, I just want to say, like, I love when there's something that's just like a little bit weird. Proud collector of porcelain dolls. That's weird. Like, that's not normal.
Just
Very weird.
That's creepy. That's deeply upsetting.
Yeah. It's
And I guess she
creepy.
grew up in Houston because she went to the same high school as Beyonce. And I think we'll be getting a lot of Allie. She's also extremely pretty.
Very pretty. All right. F you. My fourth pick, let me cross off Allie. I'm getting down near the bottom of my list now. I have Greer.
Oh, that was my pick. I'm gonna have to pivot.
Greer.
All of the medical girls are off the market.
Greer is also from Houston, Texas, which is, I imagine that is where Allie is from.
Yes.
She is bold and hilarious woman who can speak her mind. So I think she could be an high impact person, but I actually picked her as someone who could marry Zach based off of just looks. Just looks alone. She looks like someone that maybe Zach might be interested in.
I think she seems like someone who will certainly be more stunning like on the TV show. Like sometimes these pictures make people look worse and they're also really pretty. But I get the impression that like Greer will look like a lot. She'll make a much bigger impression on the TV show.
I do think that she will make an impression on the show.
Her bio goes to great lengths to explain that she's hilarious, which is always funny because it's a difficult thing to explain. And I unfortunately feel that if I were writing one of these bios about myself, I would also be trying really hard to explain that like I have a big personality, and then it would just end up being like, your ass is not funny. But she gave me kind of like a Katie Thurston vibe in that way. And it made me think about Zach and how he was on the season with Rachel. And it reminded me of a term that I learned from Sex Lives of College Girls, which Juliet and I recapped on Prestige TV podcast. Check it out. That phrase is chuckle fucker. And in the show, they used it as just someone who likes funny girls. But I later was informed that it in the real world, it's someone who hooks up and seeks out comedians. But Zach kind of strikes me as a chuckle fucker. I think he just really likes to giggle and laugh. And maybe if Greer is legitimately very funny or even just kind of funny, I think he would really enjoy that.
So a chuckle fucker is someone who seeks out comedians.
That is what someone told me on Twitter after I said it wasn't a real thing.
What's an anti-chuckle fucker? Because that's me. I would like comedians to stay as far away as possible.
I don't think you're
like
an
funny people, but not
because-
professionally funny people.
Correct. Me too.
Same. Yeah.
So
I
I
like
think-
funny people. I don't like comedians.
So I would
don't
like
really
to
know very many
reclaim the phrase
comedians.
chuckle fucker.
What'd you say, Callie?
I don't have a lot of interaction with professional comedians, so I can't say I don't like them. But I don't think that I would actively look for a comedian. But I would say that humor is a big thing to me that is appealing.
Sure.
You heard it here first. Callie is a chuckle fucker.
I will just say
I might be.
I think probably many women who spent their 20s on dating apps in Los Angeles would also describe themselves as anti-chuckle fuckers. It's a very specific LA dating problem. So just, some scar tissue. Okay. Great pick. I wasn't sure if Greer would get chosen, but I'm glad she did. Jodi, it's your final two picks.
Wow. Once again, who could have possibly anticipated this? I am prepared with one. And I will think while I notify you of who she is. My next pick is Ariel, age 28, marketing executive.
Executive.
I believe that Ariel is an executive. I believe that she has people under her. I believe that she is making decisions and that she is a bigwig city gal.
She was on my list as well. She, I don't think I liked her, and I think that she just seems actually too substantive and too normal of a person. Here are some things that I think that about her that also apply to me, quite frankly. She lives in New York City. She loves to read Architectural Digest. Dancing to ABBA makes her smile. She is just she likes to explore her hometown of New York City by going on long walks and listening to SZA. Yes, I think this sounds like a very reasonable person.
And here's what I think, Juliet. I think if Zach sort of small town seeming simple boy were to meet you and all of your great cultural interest and your home place of New York City and how fascinating and intelligent you are, he would be like, I've got to lock this down. I think that Zach has an idea of who he wants, and that person is like big and bold and cultured like Ariel. I think it's probably not going to work out because will Ariel want Zach back? I'm not sure, but I could see him. And I personally am very moved by the opposites attract agenda. I want that for Zach. I want him to attract an opposite who will push him and challenge him and make him a more interesting bachelor. Do I think he's going to be able to successfully pull that off? No, I do not. And yet she's still my pick.
Okay. I would say Ariel is top 5% of looks of this group. She's very pretty.
She is very pretty.
Wow. Callie does not agree. It's kind of like, this is like Emily in Paris, though. Like, I'm like afraid. I wish you guys watched that show because this is like the same thing.
Because it greatly impacts your life.
I
did really
Ariel
enjoy
is
season
going to
3.
get eliminated in night 1.
No way. He's going to love her.
Yeah.
She's also from a big Ukrainian family. I'm trying to get to that hometown date. I'm not sure if she's actually from New York City.
They want you to think she is, but it's unclear.
She also loves reading Architectural Digest. I guess I just want to be her friend. This was the one for me. One for him, one for me.
All
And the
right.
one and my next pick, because I am up next and everyone understands a snake draft, is one last one for him, which is Brianna, who got the first impression rose at the After the Final Rose, which was a fan vote, but I think it will have impact on Zach and the way that he perceives Brianna. It also, I believe, literally ensures that she'll make it past night 1 and has ensured it for a long time. So she'll probably come in with some confidence, with some ease. Callie disagrees. No. I thought you thought that meant she was going to come in with a chip on her shoulder. She's very pretty. She looks she looks nice to the extent that you can look nice. She runs her own beauty company, so she's smart and successful, just like Zach likes them in the vision that I have of Zach in my head. And she created her own language as a child, which means she's secretly deeply weird.
Also, she got
Which
the
I
rose, right?
Yeah.
She got the first impression rose. It was fan voted, not Zach chosen, but she got it.
She's cute.
I didn't know what a CEO was, but then I said it out loud and it made sense. I was like, CEO? I was really confused. I think that Brianna will definitely at least make it 1 week because she got that rose, but I think she's just like way too formidable for Zach. Like, she seems like legit. She also lived in Paris. Like, she's like a cultured person.
Oh, yeah, she lived in Paris, just like Juliet's favorite character, Emily in Paris.
I did like that she created her own language as a child. She's probably really smart.
Yeah. I mean, if my greatest dream for Zach is that he becomes part of an influencer couple, like, she would be such a great influencer, and she actually needs to be an influencer for her real job, which is being a beauty entrepreneur for her line of beauty goods. Right. So I just feel that the package is there and that she is going to proliferate through Bachelor world very easily and successfully.
All right, great. So your team, Katie, Mercedes, Charity, Ariel, and Brianna. We'll check back in. Callie.
Just not a lick of strategy to that team. Didn't think about the team aspect one time.
Callie, give us your 5th.
This is really, really, really hard.
Okay. Well, do you want to talk
struggling.
it through?
I'm struggling. No, because then I'm giving you ideas. But I'm struggling between 3 picks. But I think I'm going to go with. All right, I'm going to go with Kylie.
Oh, okay. See, I think Kylie on name alone is a good pick. Like, Kylie's, I feel like, have a future. Yeah.
We are sticking in the medical field. Kylie is a postpartum nurse, which I think these people are so important.
They are.
And the vibe that they give is a vibe that I think that Zach is looking for. She's very, very cute. She's also an NBA dancer. So I feel like that brings like a little spice to her. I just not sure if it's going to be too much for Zach. But
are you assuming she's a Hornets dancer?
yeah, I mean, I guess she's lives in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's what I think. I was just curious. Just curious if we were all assuming that.
She is only 25, but she says she's ready to be a soccer mom. And she's also someone who said that she falls in love hard and fast, which is what you need for this show. So I'm all in on Kylie. Last pick of my draft.
Okay. I think it's a good pick. The postpartum nurse piece of it is definitely a good call. I don't know. There's some real good options still on the board. I mean, I think that I'm like torn between like a weird pick and like one that I think will actually net a lot of screen time. I just burped. Sorry, guys. In case you're wondering, my eyes are on Jess, the 23-year-old e-commerce coordinator from Winter Springs, Florida, who says she can play bananagrams all day.
And she's who you think would actually make it far.
I don't know. She's just a little bit young. She looks young too. I'm like, I don't know if that's Zach's style. Or the other one who I just think like could also go far is Davia, marketing manager from Charleston, South Carolina, who says no one's helped her through more breakups than Taylor Swift. I mean, that's just like some real.
Both of the bios of these women mention Taylor Swift, Juliet. You have a type.
Also, Davia said she likes 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I read. So that just gave me some bias on her. She's probably participating in book talk, but ultimately, I'm going with Jess, the 23-year-old from Winter Springs, Florida.
Also, I think you picked the wrong pick because based on what just happened, Davia says that she can outburp anyone, and I think that's a sign that it should be your pick.
Fuck. Well, I've already made it. I'm picking Jess. She says she's a hopeless romantic. Her favorite date activity is playing with puppies. I mean, she doesn't leave the house without sunscreen. Respect it. And like I said, she could play bananagrams all day. She just seems like this kind of like sweet person that Zach would like. All right, guys. Callie has Becca, Olivia L, Christina Mandrill, full name, of course, Greer, and Kylie. I have Holland, Brooklyn. I guess I went for places. Bailey, Allie, and Jess.
You went for places. Are all of Callie's picks I feel like Callie basically created like a triage team. Like they're all in the
Callie's hospital.
Callie's
if you come to me, we can take care of all of your needs.
And I've got the Atlas on my side. Well, I'm excited to see how these people did. I will say this does get my energy up for the season. I'm like, all right, great. Let's see who's going to be good. I have one final question for you guys before we hop off. Are you in or are you out on the pairing of Tyler Cameron and Kristen Cavallari? Jodi?
In. Why not?
Callie?
In.
I'm also in. You know, I think that Tyler, I don't think he was dating up enough, and I'm happy for him. So I hope everyone's happy.
His last girlfriend is like
Olivia, what's her face? Or Camila, what's her face?
Well, no, yeah. She's like one of the prettiest people on planet Earth. But the other girl.
I don't remember. But I don't remember her. But I just want him to be dating. Oh, what was her name? The one that he like announced and then broke up with? Like,
yeah, I think Camila is like true. Like she's like a girl crush for me. But I also thought his last girlfriend was really pretty. Both of them are like strikingly pretty to me. So I don't know if that's the vibe that I get from Christy Cav, but I loved her on The Hills and Laguna and also her show on E. I can't even remember what it was called. And Jess Cavallari.
Very Cavallari. That was the name.
Very Cavallari. That's what it was. But no, I feel like they'd have fun together. She's like,
seems like a fun
cool
couple
to them. Yeah, fun couple. Also, the videos from New Year's looked great. I'm into it.
One of my friends is rewatching The Hills right now, which means I get to like relive my experience through her. I've watched it multiple times, sorry, Laguna Beach. She's rewatching Laguna Beach. And I've just been dwelling on the fact that like Kristen Cavallari is one of the most powerful 17-year-olds that I think has like ever existed. Like her ability to like wield power over a group of people, I feel has been really unharnessed. And I think like with the ability to mold and guide Tyler Cameron's career, like they things could really happen. I'm interested in what their dynamic is.
Me too. I'm rooting for it. I hope we get more. All right, Jodi and Callie, thank you for participating in this wonderful snake draft. Jodi will lead the next one. Erika, Cervantes, thank you for producing this, and we'll be back next week.